Hey there, welcome to Dull Motion. It's finally time to repaint my favorite Pokémon, Gengar. This ghost poison Pokémon type is based on the Cheshire cat from Alice in Wonderland, and also the cats from the old rubber hose animation style like Studio Fleischer and Felix the Cat. Its name Gengar is a reference to the German word Doppelganger. Gengar likes to hide in your shadows and to be your doppelganger. Actually, Gengar shares the top spot of being my favorite Pokémon with Muna. Or is it Munna? But this video is all going to be about Gengar. Sorry Muna, maybe next time. For this repaint I really planned ahead and made this design. It's going to be a female human version of Gengar. I'm very excited to make this doll, so let's begin. The obvious choice was to go with a kitty doll. She has a purple skin tone and she's even based on the Cheshire cat. But I couldn't do it. Kitty is my favorite Ever After High character. And it's very hard to find another doll in the Netherlands. So Kitty got spared. Luckily I got this already prepped Madeline Hatter doll. Seeing the hole in her head, I probably had plans to give her inset eyes. Well, I'm not going to do that in this video. But the hole in her head will be useful for other modifications. Talking about modifications, let's go and switch out her feet. I want her to have joints in her ankles, just like all Ever After High and Monster High male dolls. Luckily, I have a spare set of male legs. These were the lower body of Zygarde, if you can remember. I saw the legs just above the ankles with a jeweler's saw. Okay, this really makes her have large feet. So I'm also going to saw off her toes. Now I'm just going to attach it with the 2-part epoxy clay. I smooth out the clay with a knife tool and let it dry for 1 day. Now I can sand down epoxy clay to get a better transition from clay to plastic. Looking good. Now the ankles will fit perfect, I can make the rest of the feet. And now we have perfect working ankles. Her lower arm I also saw off, leaving the joint in the middle. I will be making her arms later, but for now her head. Although we're not going to give her inset eyes, the hole in her head will be useful to give her teeth. Yes, Gengar has a wide big smile. And to give this doll one, I first need to remove her former mouth. I especially want to make a Gengar out of an Ever After High doll, because of their round large heads. This smile will fit perfect. Now I'm going to stick the X-Acto knife in her mouth and form a new mouth. Yeah, this part creeps me out too. It's the same way how I make Krampus's face. Oh yeah, I also have to remove her ears. Okay, now I need to find a way to keep her mouth open, so I can work on the teeth. Well, her remaining ear holes came in handy. I inserted a wooden pin to keep her mouth open. With aluminum wire, I make an armature for her new ears. I secure them from the inside. She looks like an alien. Okay, I make a new bunch of epoxy clay. I fill in the ears and the inside of her mouth to form teeth. Some corrections to her upper lip, making those gaps in the teeth. And now we wait 1 day for the clay to dry. Now we can carefully take out the wooden pin. Nice, looking good. I really need to mention, you need to be aware not to fill up the sides with epoxy clay, or the neck pack won't fit. Okay, the clay shrinked a little, and to fill up the gap, I use a 2-part epoxy glue. Oh, before I forget, I also fill up the ear holes with green epoxy clay. Yes, you can get epoxy clay in many colors. Okay, I fill in the gap and also glue the head shut. I do this of course after I place the head back on her body. And again some more sandpaper. Never forget to wear a mask. You don't want to breathe in any epoxy particles. Now it's finally time to give her face some color. I gave the face about 2 layers of acrylic paint. Wait for it to dry. I'm just going to continue with acrylic paints. That means I won't be using any pencils. I fill in the teeth to get a smiling moon. Because red isn't so visible on a purple surface, I first shape the eyes with white paint. Then I go in with red. Although I'm making a female Gengar, my in-game Gengar is a male. Oh, you're so cute! I paint on 2 sharp eyebrows and wait for the acrylic paint to dry. This so I can do my favorite part of the repaint, giving everything shades. I do this with pastel powders and a brush. I go all out with the pastels to get deep shades. Some cat-like pupils. Now I'm going to highlight everything. Okay, time for the question of the day. What's the first doll you ever customized? Luckily I still have this doll. It's this Draculaura I made in a gothic style. Or she's just really tired. Although she's a very old repaint, I still like to keep her around. Do you have a question for me? Leave it in the comment section and maybe I will answer it in the next repaint video. Back to the faceup. Some last highlights with the pastel powders and the faceup is done. I spray the face and feet a few times with Mr.Super clear. And to give her faceup some extra shine, I cover the pupil, waterline and the gaps between her teeth with a high gloss varnish. And then I realized Gengar has a tail. So first I made a hole with a lino cutter, made an armature with aluminium wire, covered again with epoxy clay. Let it dry and paint it purple to match the rest. Time to make her outfit. I'll be using these 2 shades of purple. From the lightest shades I made a simple dress with rough edges. These like to curl up, so to keep them straight, I use a freezer bag, a bit of clear drying glue and stroke the edges. Morticia Adams would be proud. For her hands I will take the same fabric. I draw on a hand on 2 pieces. I sew them together, turn them inside out to get gloves. To make the armature for the hands, I use a mix of different wires. I twist them around a hook I insert in a drill. This way I can make stronger wire that holds more pressure. I also use this technique to make my professional stop motion puppets. I attach the wire to the arm by using again epoxy clay. Yeah, this doll is all about epoxy. By the way, these are Gengar's poofy pants. I made out of the darker shade purple fabric. I cover the arms with bandage tape to give them more body, cover them with the gloves and sew the sleeves to the dress. Now the fingers are poseable. Yes, I know Gengar has short fingers. I think I slipped some haunter in my design. Okay, I don't want Gengar to be bald forever, so I made some wefts out of acrylic yarn. When the wefts are done, I glue them to the head with a hot glue gun. I just go around the head until I reach the middle. Now we have 1 spot left. I don't want this doll to have a part. So I take a bunch of wefts and glue them on the spot. I give it a day to dry before I comb it flat. And cut it to the right length. Now that Gengar is busy in a hair salon, I'm going to make her some accessory. And cover it with clear drying nail polish. It's a reference to Gengar's Mega Evolution. It also gives her outfit some color. Speaking of color, I dab on some pink pan pastel powders on her hair and outfit to mimic my design. Oh, there you are, up in the tree. Time to catch you. Oh wait, where did it go? Oh, come back! Gotcha! Well, that was it for a purple ghost type doll. Like I briefly mentioned on my Instagram, there will be more Pokemon repaints coming up. And like always, like if you liked it and sub if you loved it. See you in the next video. Bye!